Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to talking about ticks, not the bugs. According to Metro UK, ticks are arbitrary turn-ons. For instance, I know a guy who, we've heard the story this morning about a guy who loves to watch someone eat an apple. So this is apparently a trend that's an opposite. I don't know, you might have heard of the ick. The ick, when you kind of get arbitrarily turned off by someone, this is the opposite of that. Mel, what do you think of this?
The tick.
The tick.
As in it ticks a box.
Yeah.
Or it ticks
your
my box.
Tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, definitely. I relate more to the tick than I do the ick.
Yeah.
Because for me and my husband, you guys know that he's a contractor, he does construction, so this seems very cliche. But when I see him grab a hammer,
Yeah.
and he starts working away, this is him doing stuff in our backyard, I just sit back and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep. Yard work.
Yeah.
Because for me, with him and a hammer or a screwdriver or what have you, measuring tape doesn't take much. But what I do love is that he is doing something that he's really good at and he's passionate about.
Yeah.
And there, to me, is nothing hotter than seeing someone do what they're so good at.
Oh, yeah.
And you just sit back and you're like, oh, you do your thing. I love it.
It's also super hot because you're thinking about the money you're saving. You're like, ooh, I don't have to pay the contractor. Oh, the money!
Mama needs some shoes.
Mama can buy the shoes now because you got in-house. You got it in-house.
Yeah, in-house.
I love that. For me, my tick is, I know it's gonna sound so weird, but I was on a first date with a guy and it was really crowded, the restaurant that we were trying to park our cars close as possible. And there's street cars and all this traffic and there was one spot, but he had to parallel park with all these cars. You know that panic feeling you get? And he parallel parked one time, no mistakes, and then just kept it moving. And I swear everything in me was like, why are we going to the restaurant? Let's go home. It was so hot to me. For him, I like a man who can drive and park without making mistakes. And it was just the hottest thing. And it was like a surprise to me. I was like, oh, all of a sudden, I was like, this date's gonna go very well. That's my tick.
My tick is kind of men in general when they sit down and they open up the button to their suit, and when they stand up and they close the button to their suit.
Oh.
I love it. And the man that started it all for me was David Letterman.
Really?
Yeah, he was my sexual awakening, some would say, when I was around 11 or 12. And that's when I first noticed it. It was kind of that first thing for me when I was just getting there.
What's it about the opening of the jacket?
It's like touching their body, maybe? Like
Or is it, so it's not in the way of like they've just had a big meal and they need to
No.
Yeah.
It's the getting up, like, and you see it in court cases all the time. And they're like, anyways, judge. And I think what I liked, anyway, judge, I'm a really good lawyer. I think the thing about maybe David doing it was that he's a comedian, so he was being silly, but then he did this thing that was kind of business, like business on the tummy, jokes in the face. I don't know.
I just wanted to say, I know we have to go to break, but I just want to make sure your husband who's in the audience today is taking note.
Yeah.
Taking note.
He's not wearing a jacket.
Not even wearing a jacket. All right, it's all working out apparently.
Yeah, take your shirt off,
You
hon.
can keep your shirt on. Please keep your shirt on.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.